Well, I told Pillow, I told you that I consider the greatest American hero General Douglas MacArthur. In that sense, uh, that he wanted to finish off the job in China and the Soviet Union. Well, what could I tell you about it? I've criticized Eisenhower several times the other day with you as well. That I would have, that I was criticized that he didn't let MacArthur finish the job. I told it to you. There were better generals than MacArthur. Yeah, but he had the. I know what you say, what you mean. That he wasn't the most perfect strategic one, but he was the one that had the valor to propose finishing North Korea and China and separating them. So for me, the fact that he proposed that is an act of heroism that the others couldn't. So in my book, that counts more than a strategy. Peyton is the best in my opinion. The second one I would place, of course, would be that one, of course. Patton, General Patton, of course, as well. Don't you understand? No, I tell you that MacArthur would have kept going. The other ones underestimated the threat. I think they underestimated the threat. The batshit insane Maoist their nukes back to back. Yeah, I've heard those words before. Stalin was in charge. He would have done it. He was suicidal. I think he wouldn't. I think there were spies. They wouldn't have let it happen. They could have been intercepted as well. Wouldn't start a. It would be a tragedy. It wouldn't start an international war. I think they were close to being destroyed. Pretty much. The United States had a military superiority that they didn't have back then, if you ask me. Like, what could have China done? If they have now only one air carrier, they didn't have the bomb. What would they have done? But it would start a nuclear winter to begin. There is why most had only low level officials and one party highly trusted member. Okay. I think, yeah, what I can tell you, my prediction, they can start suicide strike. I hate them too. but don't say this is incorrect. No, but I think that on China, it may have had the probability, let's say it like this, it may have had the probability of doing it, of it working. I don't know about the Soviet Union, at least. Yeah, but well, now we are fearing the same situation. We are fearing the same situation. With him saying, I have the father of all bombs, or whatever the fuck. We have the same situation and worse. I don't know if in the long term it would have saved some more lives. For example, in Ukraine right now, for example. I don't know. It's way too difficult to tell. It's way too difficult to tell. That I admit it. It's way too difficult to tell what would have happened. That's for sure. Yeah. It's the wish that one has that we don't have any more killers running around in the world, I guess. Being way too idealistic on my side, I guess. The war between Ukraine and Russia is impossible because of one man, Viktor Yanukovych. Sure. Well, that reinforced me. Why do you say that? I don't know that story. I don't know that story, I'll be honest with you. The piece of shit that fled to Moscow, ex-president. And he will prevent any nuclear problem. That is... that should be happy. Should be good news for all of us, I guess. I know that story. Why do you say that he would that a single man would prevent all of us? He fled after a mob of angry Ukrainians in his Swiss guard. And how would he prevent any nuclear conflict, you say? How or why would he prevent any nuclear conflict, a single man? And the military flipped to the people's sides. And that single man would avoid any nuclear conflict by the fact that he gave actually a lot of Ukrainian... Ah no, what the fuck? And how does that... and was going in the direction of becoming a puppet. If Ukraine has no nukes, it can start a nuclear war. No, I would be more worried about the other side, honestly. Because at least that one is under the control of... more or less. It's being supplied by NATO. That I want to believe at least has a bit more of common sense, I presume. I meant the other side. The Soviet side. If he gives them more weapons, can start a nuclear war because they would cause a crisis. The minute that happens, the United States retaliates or what? I think there are already American spies. I think there are already American spies, and no one would get to the bottom. But well, it's my theory. All the oil and the gas pipelines and manufacturers blow up. This will destroy the international market within 5 minutes. Yeah. Gas and oil supply would run out within 3 months. Okay. Yeah. Of course. Unless Venezuela gets better within these 3 months, or we find a new big source. Argentina is being explored for those. First, China cannot serve its need. Argentina is... that's why... and now I'm tying things, and that's why there are so many international investments here. We have one huge source. Then a big US crisis happened. Yeah. The EU cannot get enough power. I want to believe it's through here, huh, people. The Pale Gentleman Champion? Here. It's through here, I found a way, yeah. Definitely, I don't remember coming through here. I think this is where we left. It's just that there's way too many enemies. Oh, they are shooting like crazy, yeah. Are my Sikarmatons up? Yes, but they are not affecting these enemies. Damn it. There's way too many, and there's a champion among them. Hang on, we got them. Yes. All the plastic legs, it's all on plastic. Hang on. Give me a second, huh? Now I read it. Because it's a deeply interesting topic. Then the African investors move out, causing a crisis. It's all on plastic legs. This Ukraine bargaining a chip. Okay. Okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. Well, at least you leave me a bit more... a bit more relaxed regarding the current situation. You leave me a bit more relaxed regarding the current situation. At least the nuclear energy sources. That's for sure. But yeah, only regarding history, I would say that, which maybe if MacArthur had ended with communism back then, we would have been saved of so many pain. But well, it's a hypothetical situation. But yeah, if you thought Black Monday and the stock market crash were a big crisis, this would be 3 times that. No, I get your point. I get your point. I get your point. But yeah, we should have done it during World War II, I guess. That is the thing. Now it's much more complex because the economies are more interconnected, as you are describing. That's why I said it. We wouldn't have all of these risks. But well, you said that Stalin had suicidal impulses. Oh well, they would have needed spies to stop him or whatever. You say that. Oh, it was impossible. Well, that were highly trusted officials and that. I don't know, huh? The answer would be spies then. The answer is spies. It's the only way to stop them from pushing the putrid button and getting rid of it, I guess. Oh well, what can you do? Well, at least I know what we can do, Pillow, about it. Explain it to the illiterate population who just voted a Middle East religion addict mayor as the mayor of New York, so they don't make those silly mistakes again, I guess. Education. Spies under Stalin is like saying to treat a cut off leg with a bandana. He was good at identifying them. I don't know. You tell me. He didn't have them. He didn't have spies. Yeah. And with... I don't know. Not that he was good at identifying them. I don't know, you tell me. He was not good at identifying them, but he just killed everyone. It was that he was great at eliminating everyone, even slightly suspiciously. How? Making them all poor and miserable because of the economy. The old phrase. You predicted that the exact opposite way normally this would work. Opposite way normally this would work. They made them feel comfortable or what? In that sense. If he couldn't identify it, he just killed them all. Even slightly suspiciously. If one real, usually slightly corrupt official, spy gets caught, he gets tortured. That's what he did. Then he gets tortured until he reveals all of his co-workers. And that's how he found them. But you said he wasn't good at identifying them. He just tortured everyone? Pretty much. Slightly suspicious, you said.
I can't do that.
Damn it. Until the circle ends, or one of the tortured hit a new an NKWED member. I mean, an NATO member, let's say. Not an NATO back then. 5. Yeah, but there has no way that he found them all. You think he found them all, Philo? You think he found them all?
I can't do that.
I'm inclined to believe that he couldn't have found them all. This caused from 3 to 33 million people to die, disappear, or get deported to Siberia. Why is this margin so large? Because communism generally doesn't report the people they kill. Generally doesn't report the real numbers, because all of this data would be about this was burned in 1960. Well, precisely about that. They love burning public registries. That's something they have done here as well, huh? They love doing that, and they kept getting burned until 1993. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but I still, Pillow, do you really think that he found all of the spies? All of the American spies? I don't think so, because he was even alerted by the same NATO members nowadays. For example, that they would receive an attack from Middle East, I think last year it was, and kind of like American intel tried to even warn him of it. How did they know that?
I love it.
There was an attack in a theater or something like that.
Look at this creature. It's something new.
In Russia,
The first rule
Pillow,
of monster hunting.
last year.
Proceed with
And
caution.
NATO alerted them that what was going to happen. How did they know that previously? There we go. We found our way, people. Boss time. Now I read all of the messages below that. But is that how could they alert them about that incident? Because like they alerted right now the killer dictatorship that they have over there, your infamous neighbor, about an attack from Middle East, and NATO tried to tell him about that. So yeah. Why? Because this happened. It is estimated that a year after the Wilka Crystal, the number of US spies were reduced to 1,000. Why? Because this happened after 1960. After that, the purges stopped, and they began using insiders, because before all insiders... so now... Okay, so now it's like... It's like a resurgence after the purge. Okay. Oh well, I always hope those spies save us, eventually. In that sense. Unless they do another purge, that would be the other thing that they would. Okay, let's play a game. Okay, wait, I have to deal with the boss. You lay out your game as I deal with the boss. Please, nothing that would get me banned. It's the only thing I ask. You know, nothing that would get me banned. Nothing that would get me banned. Electric Werewolf Champion. What the fuck? I wonder if this thing... These are all spawns of that big huge monster. You're a CIA recruiter. You have 3 options. Boss of Factory Shutov. Although I don't understand some... Speak them in English. Some of the words are like in either German or Russian or those things. That is a problem for me. I already know Spanish and English. Chief of Novosibirsk military officer Chernikos. And the third option? Elite Behemoth. And the third option, or a member of party Lanoscan. Damn. Sorry. Sorry. I I don't know about Russian history regarding those things, Pillow. Sorry. Sorry. Which you choose to recruit as a spy? The member of the political party, the third one? Lenoscan? I presume it's a political party. I don't know, I told you. I cannot recognize the names. I don't know history of Russia as well as you. I know other ones, like Roman and medieval. It doesn't fucking matter because they all got purged. Alright, but you said that the last purge was long ago. How do they do it now? How do they do it now? If what options do they have now, the CIA recruiter? Then yes. Okay, then what do they do now? You would say. I'm genuinely interested in it. What do they do now? But we talked about the Korean War. No, we meant about Russia for now. And the CIA agent. In the case of Korea, I would just... I support MacArthur, I'm sorry. Regarding Korea, he had the perfect plan, he was going to separate them. But well, back then, not now, back then it was a moment. They didn't have the Fat Man bomb. Come on, it's almost dead. There we go, that one is dead. Only the boss remains. And I have a potion, people, yes. We talked about the Korean War. I just explained why it wouldn't work. No. No. And I take your point. I take your point as perfectly valid in that sense. They had the bombs even. China, during World War II. The Fat Man, the atomic one. They had it. I thought it was only the Soviets. Oh well. And what? Russia, okay. Russia, yes, it's true. He could have gone to that and we enter into the spice discussion. Yeah, the Soviet Union, yes. But there's a detail. They had divisions in Korea. There's a detail, Pillow. There's a detail. Nowadays, it is true that you can launch it, the atomic bomb, like right from your country, right? Or the missiles or whatever, because we have intercontinental and etc. But back then, you have to carry it on a plane. What plane would have survived going from Moscow to the United States? Like going through all of the Atlantic undetected until reaching, I don't know, the east coast of New York or the Pacific if they go from Korea to reaching California. Like, without being shot down in the middle of that situation. Like, they would have had to manually carry it. You know, the logistics were much more difficult. I would also argue the logistics. How they would have done with the logistics, how they would have dealt with the logistics in that sense. Because a plane would have had to carry it all the way through either the Atlantic or the Pacific. In that sense. That one is another question I would add to it. Hey, I love these military debates, people. Tupolev TU4 Bull. Tupolev TU95 Bear. Okay, those were the code names of the bombs, probably. Those were the code names of them. And 24 air divisions. Okay. Okay. So you say the air divisions would have carried them to the United States. Yeah. At that point, I would have argued if they would have survived. Oh well. As for the plane to drop it, making it through the Pacific or the Atlantic, undetected, we are talking about. The M4 Bison, you say, they would have chosen. Interesting. I love it because I studied all medieval history, people. In the case of modern history, I didn't study that much, so for me it's quite interesting discovering new things like those that he's mentioning. Without a doubt. That way you have an even more integral information. Effectively a nuclear suicide bomb. Okay, so it would have been like a drone. More like our modern drones, you say, right? That it would have imploded with like a kamikaze, right? It would have been like a kamikaze. Nuclear suicide, well, okay. It would have been like the United States that they dropped it and moved on. They would have gone for kamikaze style. Okay. Interesting. No more like a plane that flies, so normal fighters can't shoot it down effectively. Then it doesn't have enough fuel to fly back. Okay, it's more like more like a plane. No, more like a plane. It's not like a drone, of course. Back then they didn't have the drones. I meant it like the idea of a kamikaze. Plane that flies. So in fact, normal fighters can shoot it down effectively. So you mean it's a small? It's a small. Like that's why they cannot shoot it. They couldn't have shot it hypothetically back then. Let's say. Like that. More like a plane. Like a small plane. So fast. No, it's a big ass plane. Okay, a big ass plane. And how wouldn't they shoot it down? Just too fast to shoot down. Very bulky too. Okay, but if it's big and bulky, how is it possible that the US radars back then wouldn't have detected it? And stopped their carriers. I don't know, I'm just talking from hypothetical. They would! And when it implodes, it destroys everything. So the United States would have shut it down. They would. But would be unable to shut down all the 16 carrier planes. With such massive air support. Remember that they had to cross the Atlantic or the Pacific, to either the east or the west coast. They would have needed to do that. In that sense. Undetected, with the United States already controlling Japan, in the case of the Pacific, and well, all of Europe coming out of World War II. But yeah. Modern experts estimate that it would be about 7 to 13 bombs, what it would have been. Yeah, interesting. 7 to 13 bombs that would have made it, or that would have been sent out of the 16. That would fail effectively. Yeah. Besides, with the logistics that they had back then, it would have been more difficult. But well. See, people, imagine if all Twitch channels cut discussion. So kiss bye bye to Chicago, bye bye to New York. You think they would have made it? You think they would have made it, some of them? Imagine people if all chats in Twitch, here at Twitch, would be like
I can't do that.
as intricate as these ones. We wouldn't have stupidity running rampant on the platform with silly, stupid debates as what did my favorite streamer do last week? Oh, he drove a car drunk.
A real honest
Bye bye
monster.
Houston, bye bye Washington.
I'm so glad that we met. I was just looking for
You are
somebody
giving
like you.
the
I'm
Soviet
not a
Union a lot of
mercenary, and I don't have time for idle chatter.
a lot of
Hear me out. I was exiled from my order.
a lot of
I had to
props
leave
there.
the secret hideout. I won't tolerate that kind of attitude, and I need the place for myself. I thought you might help me to get rid of my rivals. I'll pay you 5,000 gold and some rare artifacts. Sounds promising. Fine.
Thing is, the US was able to do this too. No, and what would have happened? What would happen in this? What would have happened in this situation, Pillow? As the United States would have done it too. That you say. What if the logistics of the United States were so fast, but it didn't matter on a grander scale? It didn't matter. What would have happened if the logistics of the United States were so fast that they would have reached the Soviet Union before the Soviet Union would start sending in launching the carriers that you mentioned in that sense, like the planes of the United States having a secret base close to Moscow, dropping the third atomic bomb, and like immediately without giving them time. They couldn't because all nuclear bases were in Siberia. Okay, because Stalin was incalculable by that point. Okay, they were hidden in Siberia. Okay. Then the solution would have been to have an Arctic base, eh?
I can't do
People. The solution would have been to have an Arctic base, in that sense, then. It would have been to have an Arctic base. Before one bomb could be dropped on the most eastern point, the western point would launch. The north-south. Okay. Central base. All at the same time. Central base. Okay. Yeah, you would have need to have all of those, and then in the central base the spies. That, as you said, they were. He killed them all. He killed everyone, actually. Some probably weren't even spies. That's the worst part of it. In fact, most probably weren't even spies. Most probably. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. No, let me go back into the elevator, please. Not even with an Arctic base. You would have needed Arctic base. Yeah. Best part. China would still be there. Only 2 people knew this was a nuclear site. Darn it. Complex situation, complex conundrum to take a shot at. The party member general commissar, and the party member general officer. Yeah, the 2 that you mentioned previously, right? That were like the ones that knew about it. The ones that you mentioned earlier that didn't filter the information. See, people. That's why I like the medieval times. Because in medieval times, all of this would have been averted if we would have crashed China and communism altogether. But well, I'm like going even back more in the past. There was no communism back then, but still, we would have we would have organized the final crusade against China and and the medieval kingdoms of Europe, the the final crusade against China. Can you imagine that hypothetical historical scenario? We didn't have the means to get there yet. Back then, but well, I don't know, Pillow, with all of the yeah, it would have solved so many problems, but well, I don't know, Pillow, how you don't like my beloved. Well, it wasn't Italian, but we are like the direct descendants, like Italian Roman Empire back then. The historical moment to destroy China ended in 1914. Yeah. It was a window of opportunity, that's for sure. No, the big question I would pose as well, Pillow. You say that he was suicidal and everything. Would have Stalin would he have betted the honor of Mother Russia and everything and the Soviet Union to save China? Is the question. That's a big question. Because maybe he wouldn't have helped China. That's the thing. Maybe it's a bit of an innocent thought. A bit of a naive thought. Would he have helped China so much? Looking at the power of the US back then, that would have been the case. If he hadn't helped them, at least China would be out of the picture. At least. I don't know. We are always supposing that he would have helped them, which I agree is the most probable scenario. Not Mother Russia, but Mother Stalinism, communism. Oh yes, that's the thing. The huge question if he would have helped them is if he would have helped them. What is the relationship? That's something that I always say is the key. If somehow China can be separated from Russia, like regarding a continuous conquest, then it's easier to isolate and deal with them one after the other. Extremely close, because it was the same regime, just in different places, but the same doctrine. Yeah, but the thing is that, you know what I mean, it is that the situation that he would have helped. But I have a theory that socialist regimes always end up killing each other. Like the Mustache Man, Pillow, was also the reason why the China and the Soviet Union were split in the 80s. No, but I would pose this question, Pillow. If the Mustache Man confronted the Soviet Union, I don't see how the narcissistic, egotistical maniacs of China as well wouldn't follow the same. There has to be. It's because Khrushchev did a de-Stalinization. Okay. But if the Mustache Man hated the Soviet Union and fought them, eventually the same goes for Napoleon. If Napoleon and if both Germany and France being taken by socialism and doing the same stupid conquest that China and Russia tried to do and the Soviet Union tried to do, what element would make this would be the question: what element would make China different than Napoleon or the German regime? Because they are generally narcissistic, egotistical. So eventually, they fight each other. There has to be an element that makes China, just like Napoleon, and just like the Mustache Man, just like the Germany as well, fight the Soviet Union, and there's the moment. That is my theory. Because at the end of the day, when you are ruled by psychopathic killers, they eventually want to kill each other. The reason is China was after the Japanese invasion. Like, I know it's a tough question, and etc. But well, since you like more that history than the medieval one, they are the things that I could never finally get a comprehensive answer about that. In that sense. Because at the end of the day, I bet that the Chinese regime is also full of egotistical maniacs. The actual moment when China was ready to so much to fight Russia was after the 70s. Why? If it happened once, it may be able to happen again, I'll say. Two reasons. Because they were both egotistical maniacs. At the end of the day. Like, they always end up killing each other, the socialists. They consume each other. Because they cannot even tolerate between themselves. Big desert, big Siberia. Two reasons. They end up always wanting to kill themselves deep inside. They are always killers who are egotistical maniacs always try to kill each other. In that sense, I think it's just a matter of time eventually. Because of geographical divisions, you say. Japanese invasion of China, big desert and big Siberia. The other one would be geographical. So you would attribute one geographical reason and another one political one, let's say one military one. Japanese invasion of the Pale Gentleman Champion. Okay, I found the most powerful mob of this zone then. Damn it. Damn it, a barrier. No. Hang on, now I read them.
I can't do that. More rage.
Hang on, now I read them. It's just that this one will kill me if I don't do something. I regain health by attacking besides. Hang on, huh? There we go. Go. Now is the moment. Go. Form. Go. Now I read it, huh? Now I read them. It's just that here I need to focus. Almost have it. There. Good. All the Chinese cities under occupation were reduced to rubble, similar to Warsaw in World War II. And it just so happens that the Japanese controlled all coastal provinces, so all of the most populated areas. This is why the Kami's won in China. So because of that, you think they wouldn't kill? There's no way that the Soviet Union and China would ever kill each other again, let's say. Or modern Russia, pretty much. Just so happens that the Japanese control of the coastal provinces, the populated area, this is where they're going in China. All the cities were under occupation. But it's also why China didn't invade anybody until the 60s. But suddenly tried to invade. With Taiwan and everything. Well, pretty much.
You're trusting me with your money?
Yes, go.
Not enough space.
Alright, she's selling. I have to wait, people. I have to wait. Oh, you cannot close this shit as she's selling stuff. This is bad. Ah, this is a mistake, in the UI. I cannot switch it. There we go. Damn it, that's a lot of harpies. Shit. Let me move. Let me move. That's a huge mob of enemies. It's definitely the highest difficulty. In Vietnam, Tibet, Sichuan, Uyghur, South Mongolia, and alright, all of the adjacent territories. Not even mentioning the non-military overtakes and overthrows.
Hey, I'm a prince kidnapped by an evil man. If you free me,
Ah, they also grabbed me. Some shit. Take some distance. Don't let them grab you. They grab you there. It's a terrible trap, this, because they grab you. That's quite OP for those harpies. Grabbing you like that. Hang on a second. There we go. That's quite OP. And overthrows. It's what I would tell you. It's the moment to destroy them was there. This is also why all the Asian countries, except North Korea, and other authoritarian shitholes are running away from China, because it's a neo-colonialist empire. Yeah, well, I bet it's the worst zone after World War II to be. That's without a doubt. In that sense. Neo-colonialist empire, yes, it prioritizes authoritarian pragmatic alliances instead of a fellow common nations. There has to be a way to kind of like deal with them in an isolated way, and this is how it got footholds in Europe, America, and Africa. They buy Porta. Strategic bases. I see. They control countries as little more than Papa's hell if I know about that. Hell if I know about that. Here we still have one secret base that we are wiping. Fortunately, as we won the last election. This is why it's not India versus China. Ah, no. There it's all the same. It's India versus China, and everyone versus everyone else. Yeah, but the economy of China can't be bigger than the United States, Pillow. If the United States consumes much more and has much more research and development, like it probably is. Napoleon said that. It was his last phrase before he was dethroned for the last time by the British. When China awakens, the world shall tremble. It was his last phrase. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the United States has it for all of our sakes.
My friend, that was astonishing. I could use your services in the future. As my personal bodyguard, maybe.
if I were you, I'd stop right there.
Like, there's also a cultural aspect below. Think about this. How many people doesn't liquidate the fact that the Chinese nation is leading the path to authoritarianism? No, yeah, that they are the
I'm a monster hunter.
and control of its society.
I don't make friends with necromancers. And now get out of my sight before I lose my temper.
See, I've warned you.
No, I would argue two things. The one that I told you previously, that there's a huge weakness of the Chinese economy, which is that it's tied to the ultimate fate of the state, and the United States has the businesses a bit more separated from the state. That means if the Chinese Communist Party is somehow dethroned, all of the economy goes to shit. Not something that happens in the United States as they change their government. That would be the one argument. And the second one would be cultural. How many people in our either European or American derived societies that at the end of the day it's a non-monarchic version of European culture, Roman Catholic culture and Roman Protestant culture. How many would accept something like that? This is why a liberal Democrat would consider them a bigger threat if I didn't have a big, bad 60-year-old fucker authoritarianism, Mongol cockle commie block oil gas mining country as yeah, I would consider them a bigger threat than your neighbor, I guess. I don't know. Both of them are terrible in that sense. I don't want to then. That's why it's so swell they fail at everything. So sweet or swell they fail at everything. Invasion of Ukraine and it's failed. Yeah, fortunately. Well, sadly the country's in ruins. Sadly the country's in ruins. Sadly, but well. Overtake of Moldova failed. Yeah, I think culturally it doesn't work. I think culturally it doesn't work. I don't think any European society. Reformation of Serbia failed. Yeah, I don't think how many of our, as I tell you, I don't think European culture derived from Roman Catholicism or Protestantism can just accept that. Just like that. Saving the Bashar regime. Oh well, the land of my great grandpa, if I'm not mistaken.
I bring news, Van Helsing. The professor has fled to the Palace of Machines.
Isolating Finland and neutral Sweden, that one also is a big fail. They joined NATO some years ago, after the invasion. Failed both NATO now. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
You won't like
That's the
this,
thing.
I'm afraid. One of the wonders on display is the prototype of a new automaton, the mechanical colossus.
It's like that.
To tell me that he has
It's
a
like that.
giant mechanical soldier.
It's
It's
cultural.
not operational.
The second people
Yet,
see the culture that the
anyhow,
United States
Fulmigati
offers
has taken to calling
in
it
general,
the
or
Doomsday Automaton.
Europe compared to
This is
China
never
and
a
that,
good sign.
exporting oil and destroying
He
you
must
from
be
inside.
truly desperate.
We
That
have no
one
time
was
to lose.
brutal.
We must stop him before he makes that machine
But
fully
fortunately
functional.
also failed. Chapter 2 completed! You found the hat, etc, etc, etc. I almost did it, I should have done it. I love that it measures the distance you walk. I have some quests there that, as you can see, I don't know how to finish them. The Nord Stream 2 failed gas pipeline blown up, Nord Stream 2 dead. And now fortunately, here in South America we are discovering new forms of oil that are beginning to, that the project is to connect them to the US and Europe. So we can provide that, which precisely after the war failed. Nord Stream 1 will probably die probably soon.
I could sell you any of the other documents for 3,000 gold each. And while I was hiding underground, I found a map that's supposed to show the way to some hidden treasure. That cost 8,000.
Treasure hunt. I just love the classics.
Attempting the
I'll buy
big,
the map.
attempting to stop Polish militarization. Big fail.
Van Helsing, I'll require your special
I'm
expertise.
glad to help.
It does, actually. This was the last experiment by Professor von Strom. He infused some machines with the essence of the
Those
ink
are all
and
good
gave them
news.
some kind
We just
of
need an
more
alternative
intelligence.
source of
One the
all of
machines
the
is an
oil.
automated tool,
That
by the
fortunately
way.
we have it
And while they are
here,
lonely
and we
and
are
need a cuddle,
That was
sending it to
sarcasm,
Europe
right?
and the US.
The answer
And
is no. The machines are intelligent and aggressive.
It sounds better than cuddle.
we got a quest here, people. 78 kilometers of anti-personnel and anti-tank and anti-truck, then bunker and defensive on the Kaliningrad border of that zone. The place. It's ironic that that zone, people that you know that is now controlled by Russia after World War II, it's ironic that that was the birthplace of Immanuel Kant of relativism. I think I talked to you about that during the first time you joined here. That was where relativism was born. It's ironic that it's always see how blighted the zone is, how cursed it is, that there relativism was born, and it's still the point of conflict 400 years later. That you told me the original name, Pillow. I remember. I told you that originally the German one was Koenigsberg, and you told me it was Krelowik, the Polish one, if I remember correctly. So it's ironic that that zone is always... It's the birthplace of fucking relativism, because that's where Immanuel Kant was born. It's the fucking place where most people have been sadly being killed because of all of that shit. Krolewig, okay. Krolewig, there. Krolewig. Anyhow. It's ironic, if you think about it. I do think that 1 month after Russia attacks... no. It has attacked so many that Kaliningrad becomes Krelowik. It reverts back to the original state before the Germans, before Koenigsberg. You are quite sure of that one, huh? You are quite sure of that one. that zone is anyhow, I got to, or I am not a Polish man. Anyhow, got to go. Goodbye, Pillow. Let's just hope that never happens, and I just hope that, well, I don't think you will have many channels, sadly, that will deal with these things, but I am thankful that I am one of them, because indeed I recognize all of those threats contrary to all of the illiterate people that we have running around. So yeah, do you enjoy the chat? At least you have someone with a brain to chat about it on Twitch. Otherwise, they're all brain dead. One day, wink. one day, wink. Well, at least you found in me, even if you don't like me being a monarchist and etc., you find in me someone who at least has a brain about the threat of the situation, and doesn't say the stupidities that I've heard all over the place, like the Turkish guy and etc. that we have online. Have a good night, Pillow. Have a good night. And well, that's the thing I aim to. I hope I never get banned because of those things, because I express everything always respectfully. But well, for you it must be good that at least there's one person who isn't an illiterate idiot saying, let's go Camis, we are all good, from, I don't know, from California or whatever, or from New York. At least it's that. Have a good night, Pillow. Enjoy your gin tonic. And etc. And good military debate. And well, everything. Okay, people. We continue with Van Helsing then, after our beautiful debates here over at Twitch. I still have 1 hour to continue. We finished chapter 2, as we were having a nice debate on stream. So far I will point out how perfectly precise the point-and-click system of Diablo is represented here. I love how precise the point-and-click system is in this game. Like, you can see everywhere how the movements are precise and etc. Like, they figured out pathfinding perfectly. They figured out pathfinding perfectly here. The potion system does favor a retreating gameplay style, which makes me worried about melee classes, how melee classes work. Because in that sense, especially on higher difficulties, because in that sense the game favors retreating and more defensive styles of gameplay instead. Because you know that in this game you have to like stay 5 minutes without fighting for the potions, for the health bars and the mana bar, for both of them to refill naturally. The other thing I will point out is what you are listening to, which is the fact that I love the soundtrack that they chose for the game. It leans more towards a mystery or adventurous tune instead of action one. It feels like a Sherlock Holmes style of soundtrack instead. It leans more towards mystery and chasing. That is the point. Like chasing monsters. That is the perfect phrase. It's more about mystery and chasing monsters instead of anything else. I love that it forces the player to be on his toes, like you can see here, and to learn to evade, favoring more defensive gameplay mechanics. And high APM like that.
I don't have enough mana.
Than just not surpassing the paradigm of min-maxing as part of the stat system. I know it's quite abstract what I mention always about that, but think about it like this. All that we do, as I always say, in isometric action RPG games is attacking and defending. And if you think about something like Diablo 3, as I always say, you kill enemies so fast that the game doesn't have time to develop a defensive strategy for the player, to provide the player. That means you just deliver attacks, and you don't have to think about your defensive stats at all. In that sense, look how this game is constantly forcing the player to evade, to reposition the influence of the level design on the gameplay mechanics. How it perfectly forces the player to reposition constantly. Damn it, that was a lot of damage. It was so slow. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. It was so slow, but it was a lot of damage. I underestimated the damage there, people. I underestimated their damage.
I can't do that.
Pretty much.
More rage.
Okay, I think these ones are not taking poison damage, because they are machines. It's a hard counter. This one is taking automatic sentinel cannon. Dodged. That one was lucky. King of machines. Poison immunity. Yes, indeed. Poison immunity. We'll have to use brute force. Go. Looks like there was a limit to the detection range there.
I can't do that.
Damn it, we have to storm. Where is he going? Here, we'll break the line of sight and attack there. I think he summons them. See how the game always constantly forces you to avoid the attacks and reposition yourself? Yeah, this one is not taking poison damage. This will take a fucking while. Yep, that attack is lethal. I need Katarina back. Yeah, it's extremely slow, but deals a lot of damage. That one. To be careful. Come on. Here. There. My basic attacks may not do a thing, but if I use my ability there... Poisonous Pond. What the fuck? Alright, this is teaching me that I need a different type of attack for enemies that have poison immunity. Hey, I love the soundtrack that the game has. Come on, my ability should be up by now. And Katarina should be back. There we go, let's go. Here we go. There we go. This should be a boost. Yeah, this is like a fucking tank. A huge fucking tank. I wonder how big the area of effect damage is there. There, he killed Katarina in one blow. I better be careful.
I can't do that.
Looks like there it stopped moving. The pathfinding gods have abandoned us. Pathfinding gods have abandoned us. There we go. No, it's a time. Triple, let's go. She's using the potion there. See how she automatically used the potion. Look up there. No, that kills you in one blow. Root barrier.
I don't have enough mana.
Yeah, this explains why I will need a secondary attack that is not poison, people. I love the small camera shakes that it does. Oh, come on, we're almost done. We're almost done, people. This was the longest boss,
Not possible.
the longest mid-shelled boss I've seen in a while. He's like a bullet sponge. Here we go. Go. I should boost my abilities after this, and we have to explore the skill tree. Unidentified trophy. I hope I get a good one because of this. Epic trophy, +4 to all attributes. plus 4 HP regeneration, 3 critical chance, 14 enhanced vitality, 90 physical resistance, 163 poison resistance. Yes, definitely. It's better than my trophy there. Good. After this incredible experience, people, I am distributing my skill points. Definitely. This one, the Sikermatons to level 10. Attacks on marked enemies have a 10% chance to result in critical hits, even beyond the maximum limit. It's a passive, so it's free. Well, it's free, it means I don't have to activate it. What else? I need another shot. Icicle Shot. Deals normal range damage and slows enemies by 50%. Okay, here. Ghostly Mirage. Destroy Sikermatons. This looks good. Your Sikermatons attracts the attention of as many enemies as possible for 3 seconds when they explode. The explosions deal damage within 3 meters, 3.5 meters of each Sikermaton. Explosion Fire Physical. Ah, they kind of like implode. Ah, you can make them implode. Okay. Ah, so they have an active portion. Oh, this one is quite weird. A Sphere of Timelessness. Precision shot. You fire precision shot with a 2.5 second delay by holding down the mouse button. The shot deals extreme damage unless you release the shot prematurely. Premature shots deal minor damage. Ah, but with this one you cannot move. Hires above the damage all enemies in a straight line. The targets also become cursed for 5 seconds, which grants you a bonus of 3% critical chance, 2% critical damage against them on subsequent hits with this skill. This curse, the curse effect stacks and even allows you to temporarily see the regular enemies on critical statistics. We can go this route instead, huh, people? Poison Blast. This one looks good. In a straight line. I generally like the one that deals damage at one point and from there it expands. Exploding Scattershot. Dealing damage in a immediate. This one has radius as well, huh? Arc Shot, not any of these, but this one does have a radius. But here in this game, the skill trees are enemy within 4 meters of the impact. The shards deal 75% of the original damage. We're having a dilemma here. Besides, this was the only enemy that had a poison resistance. The copies disappear with the Scream dealing 200% of their damage in a 3-meter radius. When they disappear or die, they heal both you and Katarina for maximum hit points. Yeah. I need 5 points here, right? For this one? The duration here, the cooldown. Duration 32 seconds. Here I'm increasing the duration. So the cooldown is 51 seconds, but the duration is 38. So if they don't die, and they have increased hit points. Synergy bonus from Sikermatons, 30% health for the copies, 3% per level. Good. We should be done here. There's a 25% to create an additional copy. Copies deal 30% more damage. Duration is increased. No, but here if they kill them, this one is useless. That modifier. What about that one? I don't know how to affect both of them. If I do this, the rage, does it affect the combo, the more than one at the same time? I would need to check out that. Let me see. Nice. We got all of those. There's the objective, I see it. I need to kill some enemy for this. Dodged. Nice. Through here. Yeah, perfect. Done. We completed the dungeon, people. We completed the dungeon.
I knew that I could count on you. You are a natural, Van Helsing.
How come no one ever praises me? Sometimes I feel like a ghost.
Sorry? Did someone say something?
2 ability points there.
Where are the bones, handsome?
Enchanting,
Admit it,
enchanting.
Hunter. It's not that easy.
I need one more rat bone. Sadly. Find a hidden treasure. What? I hate it when the game does not indicate me where to go for the next objective in that sense. So
More rage.
no, I still have no more rage. Let's see if it leads me somewhere else. Industrial port, tier 13. Find a hidden treasure, let's go. There, this should lead me to it. It should lead me to it. People. Ah, there it is. The rat bones, I don't know how to collect them, huh? Nice, they use different sound samples for the different zones that you step on. Different surfaces.
What are we doing here?
Looking for the hidden treasure. The map says that it's here.
All I can see is a boring old chest.
Because this is a traditional chest, hiding in plain sight. Not a modern one with all those high security standards. You know, reinforced lids, poison darts and the like.
Then what are you waiting for? What have we here?
Let me see. A rare artifact. Something that looks like one of those gems from Borislav's statue. And a dragon tooth. A real one. And gold, of course. Plenty of that.
Okay. Besides, it gives me experience, and I complete the quests. Let me go back to town portal. Let's go. Find your way through the streets of the old town. No, but there it defaults back to the main quest. I have to find the last rat bone. Where is it? I haven't found it. And I have killed pretty much everyone in here. They were over at the rookery, unless it's another map. Unless it's another map. Like there, I found one here. This is one. Maybe, I don't know, the points of interest.
Busy day, huh?
Maybe the blue points of interest. I don't know. No, these are the beggars that I precisely talked to.
I live on the street, good sir. Could you give me
Here
some
you
money?
are. Will 50 gold be enough?
What about me? I don't even have a crypt anymore.
Thank you.
Where's that last rat bone? Has to be here. It has to be here.
Help me! I've lost everything!
Yes, these are grave times. Here,
Help me! I've lost my body. I need money.
Thank you.
No, they are just the same quest. They are just the same quest. Darn it. Damn it, I forgot about these. Pretty much, people. I don't know where to find the final rat bone. I do not know where to find the final rat bone, people. Sadly. Let me see if I can find it here. I've cleared everything, and I'm lacking the rat bone. Or the last bone. They're all there, just look around bodies. Sometimes it seems... It is one of the monsters you killed, but it is actually rat. If I remember well, there is one by the portal, one by the hole. You need to get on armor. Sells the illegal things. Go near the entrance level. Stairs towards the objective hole. Yeah, the 4 I have dropped from rat mobs, but I think the quest might be bagged. There are no more mobs. Then the step after collect 5 items and complete it says rat mobs collected. Talk to something ticked. Bump, but still no. Try to check the barrels and crates as well. I first couldn't find them as well. Okay. So it's a problem that they are indeed hard to find. Let's see. Let's see, people. Let me see. We should be able to find those rat bones, but they're in the same zone here. We can confirm that they're all in the same zone. That's the important part. There's one there. We'll have to do it slowly. We have to look for rat corpses. One close to the hole. We'll have to do it slowly, people. I want to get rid of that stupid quest once and for all. I want to get rid of that stupid quest once and for all. So far the game is a 10 out of 10, huh? People, we've analyzed the gameplay mechanics, the influence of the level design on gameplay mechanics and everything. It has a perfect point and click system that is precise. The skill tree feels, and it is indeed quite similar to Path of Exile, being quite sequential, like you cannot unlock the upper branches without the lower ones, in that sense. Without the lower ones in that sense. It does feel like the Incredible Adventure, like Path of Exile in terms of the skill tree. Then, well, I did pretty much a summary last time as I was chatting with Access, with another viewer of the channel. Precisely, I love the style of the user interface and how they handle difficulty as well. The game is challenging, but never feels unfair. How about down there? Maybe the last corpse is there. Like, I'm trying to find zones that I wouldn't explore normally. Have to find one last rat corpse. Rat corpse. Ah, there. Shit. Stupid filth. Ah, there.
I can't do that. I don't have enough range. Not possible. I don't have enough range.
But does it, when I activate the modifier, does it also affect... No, it doesn't affect the images of Katarina here. This one would be S. Wrathful Mirage. Okay. First bite. Ah, because they are not aligned. Okay. Because this one is S and the other one. You can remove it. There. Alright, they are like tied. I would need to do A and S instead. Because otherwise if you go with A, unless there's a way to combo them, to mix them together so you can activate them both with the same hotkey. What about there? Maybe that's a zone that I didn't explore. There has to be one last rat corpse that I can... I have no Sikermatons, that's the problem. Okay, I need Katarina's images. I know, but she's dead. She's dead. She's in ethereal form. She's a ghost, she doesn't die. Pretty much. I love how precise the point and click system is, that is for sure. Like, all of the movements are so incredibly precise. They outdid themselves with that. The engine of The Legend of King Arthur, the role-playing game, is definitely doing wonders for this game. Like, all of the clicks feel precise. It feels quite responsive. But not only that. Where's that last rat corpse? It has to be somewhere over here, people. I need to find it. And the soundtrack is also quite unique. Alright, let's try that. They should deal more damage now. Oof, yes, they are dealing a lot of damage. What about here? Rat corpse, rat corpse, rat corpse. That one? Yeah, it was here. Yes, it wasn't bugged, people. It was quite well hidden right at the corner. Right at the corner, people. It was. Okay. Oh, what do we got here? Ah, storage. We got storage. Nice. Return to something. There. There, right there.
Finally, I hope that it wasn't too boring for the great hunter. I should begin the preparations. I'll ask you again when I need something else.
Finally. This one, collect the rusty bombs. It's like an old quest that doesn't... That is part of... That is in the Gallows Bog south there. That is in Gallows Bog south there. I don't know where to collect them, but we can wrap it up. Finishing those quests so we don't have any more of them lying around. I hate that, having quests lying around. Collect the rusty bombs. Okay, so wait, let me see where that would be, if I can get any clue, any tip where that is. Let me see if we can find those rusty bombs first. They're in the swamp. The second main area around the crashed airship. I already looked for them in there. I want to have all of them side quests completed, people. Hang on, huh? Hang on, huh? I want to see where they are. What? I cannot recognize this area. Hang on. It's showing me the map, but it's showing me like a specific portion of the map, like a corner, where they should be. Oh my freaking god. Oh, this is the thing about respawning all of the enemies on the hardest difficulty. Okay, let's go. There, S, and now, how about Katarina instead? Shit. Shit, Katarina instead. Oh boy. More of them. Come on. Ah, the Sikarmatos. I knew I was forgetting about something. Now we go. Come on, give me mana. Here we go. Go. Now. What? She's already dead again? Oh well, this is what happens when you enter a new area, people. That's why you also have the option to turn this off. Oh shit. Darn it. That's a huge amount of mobs. If it weren't for the fact that I have life leeching attacks, I would have been dead long ago. There we go. Nice. Now, that zone of the map, it has to be this one. Okay, it's this corner, but where are they? Ah, darn it. So bothering. It should be this zone of the map, but where do I find them? Hang on. There, that one. Alright, and it deals a bit of damage. Collect them, but it exploded. This has to be a joke. It didn't work. Are my Sikarmatons activated? Yes, they are there. Just that there's way too many enemies. I should definitely boost the normal attack without mana. That's the next part of a skill. Here. Here there's another one, huh? But I cannot collect them. They explode. Yeah, I definitely need to improve the one that doesn't consume mana. In this game you run out of mana way too fast. Or increase my critical chance. So the damage increases exponentially. Or my stats, I don't know. Where was it? It was over here. There. 1. Okay, that one worked. More to the north east. It should be. Should be more to the northeast then. Should be more to the north, a bit more to the northeast. Hang on. Should be more to the northeast. Here. Damn it. That's 3. Damn it. Let me see. To the south. 1 more. Yes. Done. Go back to the shopkeeper. The question is, there. After so many weeks, I wouldn't remember where I had to turn in the quest. We'll get killed here. If we don't move. Shit, yeah, I knew it. Okay, I found the bombs there. Nice. Nearest checkpoint, perfect. It leaves me right up there. Okay, at least it will lead me to the correct zone to turn in the quest. Finally.
I can't do that.
Finally, we're back.
Let's see what you have for me. Yes, these will do nicely. Here's your reward.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Nice. It's not a lot of XP, but I can finally get rid of that shit. I need a portal now. A portal. There. Secret layer, let's go. So far, people, the game is flawless. It's an example of what all isometric action RPG games are meant to be. Damage increased by 50. Does this one consume mana? Press a specially enchanted round that blinks. 5 meters. Half the regular attack rate now. This one, does this one... this one doesn't consume mana. Short, shoot, kill. 2.5 second delay. Premature shot. Synergy vanish from shoot. Yeah, but it doesn't deal area of effect damage. Half a regular attack rate. No. This one is better because this one allows me to at least leech life faster. There has to be a passive. This one might be useful for bosses. No, I need to work on energy regeneration. Energy regeneration is a quite valuable resource in this game. I'll just increase my stats for now. So we're harming generated logic statistic now. The weapon damage and your maximum rage. How attuned you are to the increases maximum mana and your critical damage bonus. The crit chance. This one increases the crit chance. What is my crit chance? 11. No, this one increases the critical damage. And the mana. Yeah, basically I need this one. Unless the skill tree has to do with the mana cost is 47. I need to somehow make sure and my total mana 268 is way too low here. 206. Yeah, but this one is the one that affects the basic attack. But the basic attack won't save you once you run out of mana. Yeah. The abilities are the ones that deal area of effect damage. That is the thing. If I can increase my critical damage, this should be lethal. So we'll increase this one a bit more. We'll boost this one up to maximum. So we have mana. Enough mana to contain the resource spending of the skill tree. That alone increases the damage. Here you can choose those. Oh, good. Leave it empty. Leave it empty. We'll just use this one here and this one here. This one. We'll switch them like this. So it'll be Q for the Sikermatons and for the other ones W. Perfect. So I don't get them mixed up. 328. Let's push it as far as we can. I'm sick of running out of mana. We'll have it at 95 there. Okay. And regarding Katarina, she needs it increases the hit points and damage of melee attacks. dodge value. Combines to complete she's a resistance to all attacks. First, she needs to be a good tank. Then here, she needs to have a bit of resistances there, so she doesn't die. She should have a lot of HP. She has double my HP, just so you know. The resistances. To complete her etherealness. Okay, so she becomes like more solid, I guess. She also needs to. I need to update the gear as well. Yeah, I'll leave those there. Behavior, charge. To attack enemy sooner, and she will target the weakest creatures first. Okay, perfect. Skills. Van Helsing's defense. Defense is another one for. It's a naming convention for. %35 extra resistance is for me. Oh, damage, extra damage. Good. This one is quite powerful. I don't know what else you would choose. We release a huge explosion. This one might be useful. Attack rate, boost to her hit points. This one is also quite good. This one, Corpus, is good. Rain Spirit from replenishing your magical reserves. Shit. This one. I should have picked this one. This one. This one is brutal. Where can I respec? No, I need to respec that. That is critical. That is critical. I need to respect that shit. You, here.
I never thought I'd be fighting alongside of that.
I miss being on the road, you know.
Reset Katarina's perks. No.
I miss the wind and the sun. I miss freedom.
No, this one here. Here, all at once. Ah, here, this one is all at once. Okay, it's good, it's good. Perfect. Perfect. Done. I can redistribute them. Ah, all of them. Okay, well, good. So we'll go for this one. Ability to solidity of your companion's material appear increases her hit points and the damage of melee attacks. When your companion range attack and skill to avoid damage in your range, blah blah blah. Once to complete increases their resistance to attacks. Okay. Okay. First we'll boost her health and resistances. As a base, she has that, so it's... Now, from 2300 to what she had of 2700, maybe this is more effective. Yeah, 30% resistance and melee damage. Like that. Chance to avoid the damage. Yeah, but this one, even if she doesn't avoid it, she resists it. She should be more sturdy, even if she lost 200 HP points. No, this one is the one I need. Katarina's Ghastly Touch, be it ranged or melee, develops the ability to paralyze enemies with fear sometimes. Yeah, well, the minimum here. How many do we need? Yeah, this one. This one is a source of mana. Gain line increase 6 plus additional targets. Some amount of damage within 8 meters. Okay, she gains AoE. Okay. If a spell is cast centered around an enemy by 50%. This one is mandatory. It's absolutely mandatory. The attacks, her attacks give me 5% of my max mana with each strike, and if I turn them into area of effect, that will multiply it. Like this, I should have a lot of mana. Whenever Katarina kills an enemy, there is a chance that a shard of invulnerability forms around her, making her impervious to all attacks for 4 seconds. Okay, this one. Well, Wisp Pala will get you that fights at on her side for 10 seconds. Okay. Those, and now the other one. Corpus. What about Corpus? To dodge attacks that would cause her to lose at least half of her current hit points. Okay. Boost to her hit points. 15. Level 30. Oof. It's a 15% extra increase, huh? I don't know, we'll go with this one. The one that increases my resistances. The attack speed for me. Increases Van Helsing attack speed and cooldown reduction by 1.5%. And the armor there. This one, the attack speed. And increased damage. There may be not a lot of defense here. No, here. Increased lightning bonus. Here I only need one. I just need them to be like a spread. Her attacks will create 6 bolts of lightning that strike 6 additional targets with the same amount. Then only with this, it should be AoE and it should affect the amount of mana that she drains for me. A range point. Attacks gain the ability to give you a range point. She hits something to give 1 range. This one is also important, huh? A rage point. Yeah, but without mana, then it's useless to have rage. If you don't have mana to execute the attacks. If you don't have mana to execute the attacks, it's useless. And then this is armor, and anyways, it doesn't save you if they kill you in 1 blow. Increasing the damage they do. Let's just boost my own damage. And then defense is evasion chance here, so we'll go for resistances. In this game, that is a problem. Defense is the evasion chance, right? Total armor provided to you indicates a percentage decrease of all incoming damage. Considering the average enemy, no, this would be a reduction of around 21%. This is further reduced by your damage resistances, 21%. Okay. Your health. This one increases my... The extra hit points will do it like that. The defense only increases with her... with this one. Yeah. Okay. But when she dies, I lose the bonuses, I guess. Well, whatever. Was quite interesting, people. We explored the stat system of the game there a bit. Regarding the abilities, I don't know where to proceed with the skill tree. With curse for 5 seconds, critical damage against them on subsequent hits with this skill. The curse to temporarily see the regular limits. All enemies in a straight line. Turn into a cloud or poison and take additional damage. Yeah, but look at this. The mana cost is 45 as a base, and here the maximum is 47. So at that point, because of the consumption I'm doing, because of the consumption that I'm doing of mana, I'll be able to execute more attacks, more boosted attacks in comparison. Anyways, I should have a boost to damage now because of her attacks giving me mana. That is right, her attacks now give me mana. Look at that. Look at that, her attacks give me mana. And that's the extra source of damage, and I can avoid going back to the normal attack. Alright. I wonder if Batrachian Tower Magister. Good. Her attacks now give me mana. Plus the potion. Oh, it's much better, huh? I improved the mana I stabilized the mana regeneration with my strategy now. I definitely stabilized mana regeneration. As long as she attacks. Look at that. Nothing to do. I should have picked that talent before. Because there, the main source of damage is now the fact that I'm not running out of mana. And I'm dealing my poison damage. What are those? Igor? Igor? What? They are slow but they implode. Hey, at least we have a beeping when they are about to explode. Igor better. Like, look at that, they are keeping up my mana regeneration. Oh, people, it's already 9 PM? I hardly have to go. The old town. Okay. I'll have to remember to come back here next week. It needs to be the old town, the one that I have to go to. Alright, people, it was a nice stream as always. Deep thanks to Patrick, District and Pillow for the great debate. As always, to the three of you, deeply appreciated. Thanks to anyone who might, especially to subs of the channel, to Twitch subs of the channel, to Crowbar and Access. from the bottom of my heart, you always encourage me to continue showcasing all of these forgotten gems that certainly deserved much more praise back in the day. So I wish you all a great night, and hopefully tomorrow we can continue with Star Wars: The Republic. And so far my thoughts about this game are all quite positive. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing is a quite solid game with well thought out mechanics, and impressive influence of the level design on the gameplay mechanics. Like you could see, I got killed several times because of being surrounded and killed, like that, not because of the raw input of the damage of the enemies. It also forces you to design a defensive strategy for your character. I don't know how good it works for melee characters, but for this one, that was the original one, it works flawlessly. People, it's been my pleasure. Thank you, District, at the beginning for the AI discussion. Thanks to Pillow for the military discussion, and to Patrick for always the philosophical discussion of it. To all of you, thank you. I love you all. You're great people. See you all tomorrow when we'll continue with Star Wars: The Republic and hopefully get through Chapter 3. Bye bye, people. Love you all. Thanks to also to the people who can't be here because of their work and everything over at Discord, always to Ender or to Axis, to Ambra because of their studies and everything, to Flying Energies, to Phantom, to everyone. And thanks to the 89, I knew I was forgetting about something. Thanks to the 89th YouTube subscriber from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to the 89th YouTube subscriber from the bottom of my heart. Sadly, your subscription was anonymous, so sadly I cannot see your name, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. See you all tomorrow, people. Have a great night. I love you all, and thanks to anyone who might have taken time to watch this as a YouTube bot or a Twitch bot in general. It's always important to be thankful. Bye bye.